Aloha. Hey, it's Julian and Lance who sell real estate in Kona. Hey, so so we were talking about doing the commercial first. There you go. That's right off the bat. So Julie Zameless, real broker, and
Lance Owens with Luba Real Estate.
Right, and that's true, though. We do sell real estate.
We do sell real estate, and that's what we do for a living. What we do here is for a hobby and fame.
People recognize Lance on the planes and stuff.
Oh, I didn't tell you. I was telling Eric on my way here. I'm sitting in Denver at the airport, and I'm getting ready to get on my flight, and this guy comes up to me, and, I come by them to ask him if they were standing in line, like, where do I know you from, And they're like, naming some places in the Big Island, like, oh, you guys do that real estate show. So that was really cool. We had probably a good 15-minute conversation.
Yeah.
Sitting there. It was really good. It was awesome. They live here.
There you go.
And they've been here a long, long time.
Oh.
Don't want to give away too much information.
Right. And they're watching our video.
They watch our shows.
Even if they've already lived here for a long time. They live here.
Yep. They own a couple of rental properties. Mm-hmm. And, we got into conversation about what the taxes are doing to rentals. We can talk about that because Eric scolded us.
Yes, we want to make sure that we stay on task because you guys, we are the king and queen of ADD real estate update. But I will tell you guys, knowing that information, what we provide is very valuable information. We are the only real estate show on the Big Island of Hawaii.
It's consistent, right?
Yeah, we've been doing this for how long? 5 years, 6 years, 7 years?
We've been doing it a long time.
Right, and so we do this as a public service community experience, I think, because we offer it for free on YouTube. Mm-hmm. But if you do want to do part of the private group that we offer over here on the old Facebook land, and then you can actually watch us live, and you can actually ask questions, and you can be part of our show. You can go to our 365hawaiiliving.com and join the Ohana. So with that, let's go into the stats and see what the hell's going on in West Hawaii.
Go on. All right, we're going to jump into this right away. So I'm going to look at the number of sales over last year to this year. So residential sales last year for the month that went up this year 6%. So we had a 6% increase in the number of homes sold.
Wow. Okay.
So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Not that horrible, but it just shows that the market keeps cooking along.
Yeah. And then condos went down 17%. The number of condos sold. So
can you imagine why that might be? Increase in HOA fees, anybody?
Increase in HOA fees, the assessments, there's a few things going on, and the questioning of the time is right to buy right now, right? Because they're seeing a lot of fluctuation in the market, what's going on.
Yeah, but there's lots of fluctuation in the market of both single-family homes and condos.
The thing is, you got me jumping right into the next thing already. So here we go. So interestingly enough, the number of single-family homes are active, and we haven't even got into that.
Okay.
Really, but the number of homes available right now are 98 active homes available on the market today.
Okay.
So,
and that's compared to what?
That's compared to normal market 2019. We always go back to for new people. Would be about 165.
Okay.
So we're way under in homes. Okay. So that I'm kind of give you guys, I don't have a crystal ball.
Okay.
One of those magic 8 balls like the lady at the gate had. Yeah.
Are you getting on the plane?
Yeah.
It doesn't look good.
Is it going to stay in the air the whole flight there? Yeah. I hope so. But there's I think. Typically, homes will go up in a lot more available because condos are the only thing that are affordable.
That's true.
And what's happening is, so with condos, I just told you homes are at 98?
Yeah.
And they, in a normal market would be 165. And condos are at 144 right now.
And what's
active.
Normal?
135 to 150.
Oh,
so we're in a 2019 market. But remember, we've been under 100 for years and years.
Yeah.
Just in the last several months have we jumped above that. So, and I think that has to do with the insurance rates and what's going on there. So, I think it's an artificial high in what's on the market, and we're going to have to check. We want to follow it closely.
Yes.
Because
so when you say an artificial high, we are being hit with an issue that's not going away.
Exactly, but it's not going away anywhere in America.
No, it's not.
Anywhere in the world.
It's not going anywhere in America.
So this is the new normal.
This is a new normal. So when you say let's watch it, I think that what we're going to see is more people saying, I can't afford to live in my condo because I'm on a fixed income. And there's
going to be more people saying, I just got to get used to paying that and I'm ready. But there's a people that went in there on a fixed fee and said, this is what I can afford, and it's tragic.
Yeah,
Because
for
it's
people who are
pricing
on
out.
fixed incomes.
Yeah.
In fact, our friend Mark is here today, and he has a condo in Casa and Demko, and but he rents his out, so he can pass that money on to his guests. But my other friend Jay, who lives in Casa and Demko, is retired, and she's on a fixed income, and it just went up $300 last week.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is, I
What
think,
does
it's
that
going to.
mean?
Well,
Does that
that's
mean
just
you're a
either-
Walmart greeter.
Right. I heard people say that
just
they
to
have to
make
go
up
out
that
and find.
difference.
Yeah, people have to find second jobs.
That wasn't meant to be bad, but you know that would give you that extra income of what you can, you know, what you might have to do, you know. So
Yeah.
it's a difficult situation that's coming into play, and we have to watch. We have to see what's going to happen because, you know, when I say this kind of artificial high, and it's not artificial, it's real, but it's a jump in numbers that will. It's happening to everybody right now, and I think it's going to, once that initial shock gets over with, it's going to have to be dealt with. So I don't know.
Well, it's kinda
this
like,
is something that's new that we have never seen.
So remember when the interest rates were going up?
Yeah.
And then we became the people who were used to 2 and 3%.
Yeah.
They were like, I'm not buying a house at 6%, never. And then the people who just came into the market and said 6% isn't so bad, and they started buying houses because 6% was what they knew, right? And then it all evened out. That people really wanted to buy a house, then they would then go ahead and get the interest rates that where they were at.
Yeah.
So maybe
'Cause
that's
that
what's
can
going to happen
change.
with HOA too.
Your view can't change. I mean, for the most part, right? I mean, if your neighbor built a 5-story house, it would change, or the trees grew up. But for the most part, if you're in an area, that's not going to change. Your location's not going to change. Your interest rate's about the only thing because and even at the number you get it, you fixed your future
Right,
monthly
yeah,
cost
right,
at that number, and you can hope it can get better, but it can never get worse unless insurance rates go up.
Yeah, the insurance rates did go up.
So-
Property taxes.
Yeah.
That's I think one thing right now, and maybe I'm feeling a little spicy, is that
Oh, we're fired up. We had
oh,
good-
spicy.
We were getting fired up. We better finish our numbers.
Yeah, the things
before
are
we get-
changing because things are changing.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. Okay, so that's okay. So then prices though, what are the prices on
Prices. What do we got going on? Prices. It's a number. Sorry, guys. I got to jump a page. I'm gonna have this. We've been saying this for about 5 years. I'm gonna have this on one sheet.
Yeah. Okay.
I've narrowed it down from 10 to about 4, so we're doing good. So condos, which are down, what we say, 17%.
Yeah.
Their median price is up 25%.
So explain that.
I don't have a scientific fact behind this, but I kind of have a semi-scientific fact behind this. Is what seems to be selling on a very quick basis, and we've had several sell in the last month, Kimmy and I, is the ones that are unique, like they're waterfront, oceanfront.
Oh yeah, and they're going
You
for
know,
a mint right
and
now
and
too.
they are just continually increasing in price, or not decreasing. So I think that's an effect on it.
Yes, at $1.2 million to get an oceanfront condo right now.
Where can you get one that cheap?
Oh, I saw one today down at the base of Oil Poinciana.
So I mean, you know, we just closed a condo in Kona.
That's an expensive
It
complex.
was 2-bedroom with a loft, so 3-bedroom basically, but it was 175. Oceanfront, and you look at maintenance fees there are
And they just
close
went
to
up.
$1,700 a month, I
Yep.
think, on maintenance fees.
Yep.
So, and those are selling. I mean, they're selling before they make it to market. And
Don't get me started
so-
about the 2%.
Yeah. So it is. So you got to look at. So I think that's what's making the price look better, because you and I both know that places that are more for people that live here and work here. We've got how many? I didn't look. I've been gone for 2 weeks, so I
Yeah,
apologize.
about 11. I think, or
11
someone in
at
Leilani. Yeah, and those
so-
prices are going between $450 and like $510.
Yeah. So they're still holding their value.
Yeah.
They've gone on a little, but they've held pretty steady for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'll be
because at the
interesting.
end of the day, I keep telling people, since we're not building a whole bunch of new stuff, there's still demand. People still want to move to Hawaii, right? Or they want to buy investment property, buy second homes or whatever. And so we're not seeing people dumping their houses,
Yeah.
right? So because the demand is keeping the prices up, even though when this is all going on, that you still can get a pretty good penny for what you're going to sell.
Yeah.
Right? And so I'm hoping that continues, because of people who do want to get out of the market. I hope that they can at least get out and be able to take their money and, I just have like 2 or 3 older women that are, they're looking at HOA fees that are a little expensive. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not easy. It's going to be difficult, and it's going to have to be dealt with.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be the new normal. We all know maintenance fees don't go down, insurance fees. You've heard us talk over the last few months about what's going on with at the state level, where they're talking about bringing in something very similar to the Hawaii Hurricane Relief Fund that will help regulate or help put money, infuse money into it, but that doesn't fix the problem.
No, is that called a stopgap measure?
Yeah, I just don't see it changing a lot. By the time they get this in, the Speaker of the House that has been there for 30 years,
Yeah.
just lost in the
Election.
election. The what do you call it? Not the primary,
No.
but the preliminary. I forget. Sorry, drawing a blank. Lack of
Kind of like
sleep.
primary.
last
Yeah,
few
yeah,
days,
he's been traveling. But once he lost, his whole thing was to try and help this issue.
His big issue was this, so it's really going to hurt this issue. It's still there. It's still formed the task force. The realtors do have a seat on that task force, so that we can help advise, on things that are real estate related with homeowners and things like that, and bring to the attention, because there's a lot of things in the initial one that was coming out that had to do with, like, some cash buyers and things like that weren't going to be affected by it because they don't have to carry insurance.
Right, because he had mortgages. Yeah.
So it has to be crafted in a way that everybody participates in it. Every owner of the complex participates, and the banks to ensure they want this coverage. Actually, the banks are going to have to participate a little bit in it to just offset some of these costs. So, we'll see. It's not a fix all. It's not. I've actually become less enthused about this as I see it coming along. So, and I don't see it advancing this year.
Well, they also they said that to fund this, one of the ways to fund it is for everybody who is going through a real estate transaction. A piece of the real estate transaction will go to fund this fund.
That's
right?
why it was when during Aniki, right after Aniki, we all did it. I paid. I'm like, why am I paying this fund when we bought our house in so Aniki? I think was 1992 or 93, somewhere like there.
Yeah.
So when we bought our home in 2001, we had to pay into that fund.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there we go.
So, and I'm like, why am I paying into this fund and everything? And because we talk about condos because of the maintenance to cover the insurance, but it's happening on homes too.
Yeah.
If you've watched just recently, our home insurance went up 87%, I think it was. And people have tried to explain that to me. No, we have valued our property. We're realtors, and every year we've evaluated the worth of it and the cost to rebuild it. So it didn't go up because it cost more to rebuild. We have made sure that we were covered and that it went up because...
Do you think this is greed from the insurance agencies?
Yeah. They finally had to pay out more than they've ever had to pay out. Last year was a big payout. There was a lot of tragedies across country. Well,
I heard the State Farm doesn't want to give the Lahaina victims their money. That just came up in the last few days.
And why? Everybody wants part of the $4 billion settlement, right? And it's like, well, wait a minute, you insured it. You're not part of that process.
Well, they're like this, and they were talking about how much money that the state and the Fed, all the entities paid State Farm over the last decades and decades. And now when they say, okay, it's time to pay
$30 billion or something, right?
And then they won't pay.
And now,
I'm telling you, I'm spicy about greed right now.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So we got that on because we're gonna get into.
Oh Lord.
All right. So we're gonna jump over what we say. That was condo numbers. So homes. Where are homes at? Homes have gone up in price from a year ago to this year at a staggering 2%.
Hey.
So that's good to see.
Yeah. So the Fed, in their ability to say, let's try and tamp down the excessive inflation on housing, that has worked right there.
Seems to me.
Right? Because it didn't go up 50%.
We're up 10% year to date, but
10%.
But 2% month over month.
That's good news, you guys.
Seriously, it is good news. It is good to see it.
I'm sure that there's people who obviously own homes that love themselves some good equity building, but it has to be in a place where we can, just. I don't know why I'm acting like an activist today.
Well, I know, and it's hard because as the more we see this, I think the harder it's become because I really feel for people that are born and raised here and raising their families, and even our kids that can't afford to buy here. And what is an affordable house? An affordable house is something that's obtainable by a school teacher or a construction worker or something like that. Everybody should be able to afford to buy a house.
Yeah,
and
it helps society.
It's not obtainable.
No, $1.5 million is not attainable.
No, 1.2.
1.2.
Yeah,
okay, so I went down from 1.5 from last month.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
good. It's that's not attainable housing, so it's difficult.
Yeah. Okay.
Where do we go with the answer? Okay, so
breathing.
How many sold for cash? Condos, about half of them sold for cash.
Okay.
We only had 3 1031 exchanges. Well, for those that don't understand what that is, that's somebody that pulled money from a different investment and brought it over here without tax implications. So we had 3 of those last month. We had 1 VA, and the rest were pretty much standard. I just told you we had 142 active listings. We have, what's today, the 5th? We have 1 sale for the 5th. Last year was 30 sales for the month. So with 26 in escrow and only 1 sale down, we will not hit our numbers for this month.
In terms of what we did last year.
Yeah.
But that's for condos.
Yeah, for condos.
Okay, yeah.
So the numbers, I think there's like 5 months worth of inventory or something, which is a lot. So
yeah.
So on homes, cash homes, only 31% sold for cash last year. Only 1 1031. Don't see a ton of 1031s on homes. That's not abnormal. VA, there's only 1. You'd like to see more VA loans. Conventional were the rest. Active, there's 98. In escrow, there's 55. And there were 25 sales last year, so we're going to beat last year's numbers next month. I can predict.
Look at you. Look at you.
I shook my 8-ball.
Look at you.
With 55 homes, contingent, 55 contingent, and 25 sales, and 5 sold already for the month. We should surpass that.
Yeah. Okay, so what days on market?
Days on market. I knew you were going to get me
I have to get in that one
so
because there are houses that are not selling. I've got one down on my street that has that house down my street has been there at least for 5 or 6 months.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. No names, please.
No names.
No names, please. So, days on market for condos. The median days on market for condos is 58 days.
It used to be 30.
So we're kind of, that's
it's slow.
normal.
Okay.
Median days for homes, 36 days.
See, the single family market.
And you know what the highest amount of days it closed last month was?
What does that mean?
As she looks at
Yeah.
it. Most days on the market. Say it?
663 days. Okay, what poor house?
I don't know. I did not get that number because no names. We get in trouble when we talk.
Well, you know what? Also, you guys, I've seen because we had Amber here yesterday.
Somebody just hit my car out, bro.
Did you hear something?
Yeah.
Go look. The concept seems as if at this point right now, at least, that sellers are hanging on to their price. And they're not going down much.
Yeah.
And again, we're not seeing, because we always go back to is the market crashing? Even with the condos, again with the increasing days on market and the homes, like this one down the street. Obviously, if the guy was going to try and sell the house, he would lower the price. But they're not. It doesn't seem like there's this
because it's a slower market and the more days in the market. I mean, it's not the price that's going to sell it. It's getting the right buyer there.
Right, and the demand too.
Yeah.
And also, we were talking about this too. I think some people are waiting for the interest rates to drop or the election to be over, right?
You saw my blog on the election, right? It really doesn't. Nothing changes, but people worry about it. The numbers.
Well,
don't change.
when I saw the numbers at the Inman Connect conference, they said that there's just pent up demand of people waiting, and that prices usually sometimes will go up after an election because of the pent up demand.
4 of the last 6
of the election cycles.
Elections have gone up, and none of them have gone down significantly at all. They've been more consistent.
Yeah.
In your Facebook page, we have the actual numbers for the last 20 years, I think.
Yeah.
Or the last six election cycles.
Yeah. And so it's if people are waiting until after the election's over, you're actually not getting the best deal on the housing right now. So
And interest rates don't change either.
Well, interest rates are going to go down. So I was talking to my mortgage friend today, and he said that today or tomorrow morning they're releasing the jobs reports for farm.
Oh, tomorrow?
Yeah, and he said already the regular jobs report for normal jobs is down. Jobs are down too.
Are they going to change it in 2 or 3 days?
Okay, so they had grossly everything up, and now the market.
Right. Job?
Who's working there? People after the pandemic. So then the jobs report came back slow again yesterday. So they're saying that when they drop the interest rates, it might be more of a cut than just the slow drop down to try and like stimulate the economy.
That's good. I hope.
Yeah, so we're already at 6.2%, I think, today. So we might actually get to those high fives that we didn't think were going to happen until next summer, sooner than we thought. So, and they say if we get down to the fives, that maybe more people will say, "Oh, it's maybe time to get rid of my really."
That's a big thing, you know. And I just got back from the NAR.
The Economist told you what you
National Association of Realtors. People confuse that when I say NAR sometimes. I just got back from the leadership conference, and it was interesting because Lawrence Yun, Google him, look him up. He's an amazing economist, and he's talking about we're just gonna see this for the next year, because there's too much demand out there, and we have to do it. And one of the interesting things he talked about is, and I thought it would be in a slide because he always releases a slide like 15 minutes after he does our deal, but he'd released them in July, and so they didn't. He had an updated slide on there that talked about how many people moved because of family members next door to them, and it was like 2%. How many people moved because of differencing of opinion of politics? Next to them was like 4%. So people love their family and they hate arguing politics.
A long time ago, back in like 2016, when all that stuff started rolling, I said, how many people would move out of the state you're currently in because of politics? Right? And a bunch of my friends were like, "Oh, that's ridiculous. Nobody would move for politics." And I'm like, let's see how that's going to go. And that kind of proves it.
And it's gone a huge way. I would like to see those numbers actually for the last 5 years or 4 years.
And see how it goes,
because of all the changes from COVID and people that moved and thought they could handle the different politics.
Yeah.
And so it'll be be Yeah. All right. I think we didn't get our absorption rate.
Politics.
Right?
Monetary
cycles. We got to be
cycles.
careful on politics.
I know, it's like all.
So, just to give you a number on the absorption rates for North Kona, we're at 22%, so almost 23%. So what does that mean? Longtime viewers know that anything under 15% is a buyer's market, anything over 20% is a seller's market.
So you're still sitting in seller's market.
Still sitting in seller's market, which would be any time before COVID, 22% would have been a good solid number for a seller's market. But it's come down quite a bit from 80 or 90%, which was insane. And it's been in the 30s and 40s for the last year. So we're at 22%.
So sometimes especially when we're over here on Facebook land, these people watch both the East Hawaii market and then the West Hawaii market. And Amber was saying yesterday on the East Hawaii market, homes
I miss that. I love to watch you guys
because it's like a kind of like you get on the same island, you get two different experiences, right?
Two different worlds.
Well, on East Hawaii, houses are sitting on the market for over 100 days right now. And so they've built a lot of new houses, and because it's a lower price market, I think those people are the ones that are. In fact, my friend Travis today said that there are the highest delinquencies of car loans people have seen since the Great Depression, the Great Recession. So something's going on there, right?
Yeah.
And so if people can't afford their cars, they're probably not going to afford a home.
Oh, they're not buying a home.
Right, but that's
if they're late on a car payment, they're not getting a home loan.
That's what, we're looking at that right now. And so, but it seems like obviously in West Hawaii, we have people who are coming and they've got retirement money, they've got pensions, they've kind of got it together by now, right? And I think that when we don't have enough inventories because we still have strong demand for people who can afford to live here. So
it's always been two different worlds, you guys. So, and it's been kind of a, it's been difficult to explain that to people because you go to another island. I'm in the business, and realtors are in the business, have no clue the difference between our median price has been higher than Honolulu's median price, many times over the last
Like
few years,
Yeah.
2-3 years, I think. So it's not they can't understand the concept of what it's like.
Yeah.
They don't understand. Oh, a little over North Kona, not just North Kona. A little over is the size of the entire island they have, and so it is a fair way to look at it when you look at the land area. What the median price is.
Yeah. And you know what? The in median price on East Hawaii is something like 346, and because they also have Lava Zone 1 and 2, which pulls that median down.
It pulls it all out.
Where we have like $1 million mansions sitting right on the ocean. So
$1 million homes right on the street.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, So $2 million homes on the street. So it's it's an
interesting world we live in, my
market.
friends.
Yeah.
So, but I will say that
We can throw these away now.
yeah, there we go.
Done. What are we talking about?
The sun is beating on a beautiful blue ocean out in front of us, right?
Yes.
And so
it's
it's a beautiful day, and sometimes when I like to think that before I was kind of like immune to the whole experience. Now that I've known Lance and I'm in the real estate industry, that I think my spiciness level of digging in to figure out where is the problems, and I've tried to figure out how to get affordable housing built. And the water credits kind of makes it difficult, but then this parking issue too. Now, we could go with nuts on this whole. He and I can go nuts on the whole parking thing.
Even though we want the same outcome.
Yeah, we do. We want the same outcome.
We both
and it's
agree
interesting
on the
because
end.
intrinsically, what you're saying is totally right. And so, if you guys on YouTube land, okay, is there anything else you want to say about the housing market?
I think we're all caught up with housing market. I think we will watch it closely. We'll watch for the next few months, see what happens.
See if the interest rates drop and see if it increases like some level, or maybe if people are selling and maybe people are buying, maybe it brings the price down a little bit, maybe it makes it a little bit easier for people to get into the market.
Two things we want to watch. We want to watch the number of condos available in the market.
Yes, because we have that.
So right now we're at 2019 level. Housing, we're still not even at a level we've had in a long time. So, so let's watch that and let's move on to what's going on in town.
Wait. I'm going to talk to you a little bit real quick. Strategy, just real quick. So we just had one of our clients just got a condo in Waikoloa Village. She found out, and just so you guys know, just like, I'd love to have you guys obviously use all of our P&T members, but if you're using a different realtor, don't be on my Facebook group. But finding out what the future of your HOA fees are going to be takes a little digging. And you be diligent about digging, because we... Wait a minute, that's a lot more than I thought I was going to have to pay. So we had to do some strategy around pricing what you wanted to pay for that condo. And so if you guys want to start thinking about if these things are happening and HOAs are going up, right? And then people are saying, "Oh, my gosh!"
You need a realtor that will dig in and find that information.
And maybe fight for you in negotiation in terms of pricing, so you can afford the HOA fees. So I'm just saying that it has to give one way or the other. And so
we're in one too that from this group here, but we went in and we dug in and we saw the assessment and we reached out to the HOA and they're hesitant because it hasn't been voted on yet in some cases, but it's like, we need to disclose this. We have to have this information. You need to dig deeper and you need to find out what the math is on this. Because it's a mathematical number.
Yes, it is mathematical.
If you're taking $200,000 out of your fees in doing this and you're creating an assessment, you have to know that it's not going down next year. Yeah.
So just do a little bit more diligence than I think that has been done in the past.
Yes.
If you're going to buy a condo at this point. Right. So, okay, now we can move on.
Okay. I know where you're going. Go ahead. Take me there.
Okay. So, you guys, I am the freaking rabid dog on this whole parking issue in downtown Kona.
Hey, why don't you give a quick little 30-second recap?
30-second recap of Kona. Downtown parking is a fact, and Eric and I are going to do a longer video about this, and we're going to give you a little bit more of the history, and we're going to talk about the stuff, and we always say never come to somebody with problems unless you have solutions, right? So I think we have a couple ideas for solutions.
Don't tell me what I'm doing wrong, tell me how I can do it better.
Right, there you go. So if you're not aware yet, that a parking company came in called ParkLink, and they basically, we call it the Airbnb of parking lots, where they have shown the landowners that there is money to be made in those parking lots sitting there all day long by putting in an electronic system where they raise the parking rates from free to $15 an hour in some cases. And what's happening is that people for the first lot, people said, that's crazy, we're never going to pay. And they start going to the other lots. And then the other lots started filling up. And then so they said, well, wait, we can't take all these extra people. So then they put ParkLink in, or Diamond. And then it started becoming this like spread of viral disease of parking payments.
Parking wars.
Parking wars. And then all of a sudden everyone started getting these paid parking things. Well, what happened then was a bunch of people who live here said, I'm not paying that parking thing. I'm not going to go downtown. And so Eric and I did a couple videos, and the general comments were, I hate parking fees. Don't make me do it. I don't want to scan a QR code. So they started going to other places. Like you can go to Keauhou, you can go up to Aloha, you can go to Waikoloa and stuff like that.
Old industrial.
Or industrial.
So there's a lot of places. There's more places coming in.
That's true.
It's
but all those places are not downtown Kona. And again, again the spiciness. I moved here to have a Mai Tai next to the ocean in downtown Kona, and that they're making it more difficult for that to happen, and especially for my friends. And the lifestyle of Kona is that in which you meet your friends downtown for a drink to watch a sunset. And so I'm trying to fight this parking thing. So I've reached out to my council person. I've talked to the mayor. I'm doing everything I can to figure out how is this going to be so that this becomes more tenable. And I'm not saying that we have to have free parking for everybody forever, because once they've tasted the taste of gold, but there's got to be a solution.
I want to add on to that really quick too, to the fact that they've changed this, how they're handling this parking multiple times. So I'm just done. I'm not going down. Do I scan the code? Do I scan my driver's license to show that I live here? Now, do I get a stamp from the restaurant I'm at? What do I do with the stamp? I'm done. You know, it's like,
yeah, they have changed it around quite a few times.
They've changed it several times, and I honestly don't even know where it's at right now, other than a shout out to Foster's, just because they sent us a letter or email, I guess, letter maybe, I don't know, but just said, hey, we are validating the parking and we're going to give you this credit to bring you in. And so, you know, good for them for being proactive. That's awesome. But
I'll tell you guys, because I got a call from Jeff Foster, is that he said, let me have a lawyer look at my lease. And they found out that the lease basically said that, yes, you have a right to have your tenants in the parking lot. Didn't say anything about making them pay. Yeah. So he worked it out.
And that's good. That's where you need to.
Yeah. So
that's where you need to
we're
fight
telling them to dig in. So he basically is getting 90 minutes of free validated parking. So if you go to Foster's, you can get free parking. And of course, we're like encouraging, more people to take that on.
But do you even know how you do that? I mean, I got to go in.
You have to bring your license. No, your license number.
Right. Okay.
I mean, your car license number. So he's got a little iPad, and so
then he's going to scan it.
Well, he's getting your.
And they're going to credit my credit card, I guess.
Well, get this. So you have 15 minutes to get in from the parking lot to Foster's, right? Mm-hmm. And the same thing with Kai Eats and Drinks. You can park underneath the parking lot, underneath Papa Kona's, and you come up, and then you give them your license plate number. Come up for air, and then they do it in your little iPad.
Counting in parking
and then
fees.
That way, if there's a dude in the parking lot saying, should I give this person a ticket, they're able to do electronically, has that person registered their license plate. And if they have, then they're not going to get the ticket.
Okay.
So that's how that's going to work. So having your license plate and bringing it up to the hostess stand is a little bit more maybe like manageable sometimes than some people who don't understand how to use QR codes. And people also are worried that they're putting in their information, all their credit card information.
I had to scan in my driver's license.
Right, and so they're saying, what do they do with that information?
It's a very sketchy thing.
Yeah.
And these parking companies don't have the best reputation. I don't know that I want them having my driver's license number. They're not the friendliest.
So much. And also then they don't give people who are handicapped free parking either. And those people have gotten like $50 and $60 tickets. Because your first offense, you guys, is like $50 if you get a ticket from ParkLink. So I just find it unscrupulous business practice.
Yes. I agree. And so, now you want counterpoint?
Okay, counterpoint is that I'm like this. Somebody should do something. And of course, okay, I'm telling you guys, I'm a little freaking bulldog on this one. So I went to the Kona Kakala Chamber of Commerce, and they said, this isn't our issue. It's a private property rights issue. It's for businesses to deal with them on themselves. I asked the mayor. He said, this is a private property rights issue. Mm-hmm. I went to Rebecca Villegas, who's our council person, and she said, I'll tell you what, you get the small businesses to show the receipts to show that there's been economic loss and injury, and I will try and mediate maybe with the landowners. Mm-hmm. So I'm working on that. But then also I went to the West Hawaii Association of Realtors, and I said, this is a lifestyle problem. And as realtors, we are encouraging the people who live here to enjoy their lifestyle, so we should get involved. And they too said, this is a property rights issue. And so that's when Lance and I have this thing where I'm like this. When something becomes a lifestyle problem and an economic one, legislation should step in and try and deal with it. And then he says,
it's a property rights issue. And I hate it as much as Julie does. You guys, I think it's horrible. It's the worst thing that's happened to our economy on top of everything else. It's the worst thing that's happened to our economy. But it's almost like, and I fight this all the time with the legislators and things like that, and it's coming up again this year. It's rent control on what they can charge on their parking lots, and we can't have rent control coming in. So
I think it's totally different, though.
There's
parking
control.
And then there's housing. Rent control on housing is different than rent control
There's
on parking.
a parking company that said, I'm going to pay you X amount of dollars to rent this lot for a year from you. Landlord says, heck, that's great, and I'm going to give you a piece of the pie. Well, that's even better.
Right. That's the part.
So now you want to tell him he can't do that.
Right.
And that's not
okay.
Right.
See, okay. And then that's when you
but
start using the word government overreach.
Yeah. It
Right?
is. I mean, it's just like you tell him what you can rent your room for downstairs. Like, Julie, you're renting it for too much for that neighborhood, and I'm going to reduce your rent. I mean,
I know.
I hate saying these words, but that's what I stand for, and that's what I fight for, is property rights, and they're ruining downtown, and it's not good, and it will play out. Sadly, there's going to be a lot of businesses that are going to go out of business at the cost of that. In turn, there's a bunch of businesses that have increased a ton of business in old days. Just try to get parking at Willie's Chicken or at some of those places over there. You can't even find parking, and it's free, but you can't find it because everybody's going over there. So they have increased tenfold because of what's happening down there, and that happens. Is
that called a free market economy?
It's called a free market economy.
God damn it!
I know.
Yeah, but
I don't like it.
Damn it!
But it's happening, and they have the right to do it. And sadly, business owners, please band together and have a conversation.
Business owners need
who
to
you're
band
paying.
together.
Yeah. When there's no businesses left downtown and it's too late and we've lost some good local businesses that should be there and should stay, then it's really going to be a tragedy.
Yeah.
So as much as a tragedy is going to be, it's their property, and
so what we
that's
did,
like telling them how much they can charge for a steak or a beer at their restaurant.
I know.
So we can't do it.
No, but okay, you guys. On the other side, the flip side.
We love each other still.
This thing has come to the attention of the state legislators. Mm-hmm. Okay, and if you look at it's the Airbnb of parking lots, right? It's I didn't know to even think about legislating this because I didn't even know this was going to happen. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what happened with Lyft and Uber when it first started, and the taxi companies were like, well, what the hell just happened here, right? And so then all of a sudden it became these little rules around, okay, if you're a rideshare company, you have to park below this, and we're going to keep a space for taxi cab drivers, right? So somebody came in and started fixing that, right? So that was the free market economy. And so the thing is with Airbnb, now there's our state and county legislators trying to figure out how they can regulate Airbnbs, so that way at least it's not changing the way society works in a way that you can still make money without changing society. I think the same thing is happening with this parking issue.
Airbnbs in residential neighborhoods were never meant to come into play. They weren't supposed to happen there. It turned out when this new thing came into the market that people were able to figure out a workaround it. Like condos, like our friend here, his condo has a check-in desk and other things. When it was built specifically to handle Airbnb type businesses, tourism and things like that. But not everything was, so that was built for it. But they found a loophole to come around and do something. But this isn't a loophole. It's business. It's business. They're doing nothing but leasing out a parking lot, this box, and this box at the restaurants, and and everybody's charging. I mean, if you put a limit on what the parking lot can charge,
Yeah.
are you going to put a limit on each restaurant how much they can charge?
That's not the same.
It's the exact same thing, and it sucks because some people can't afford to go down there for their drinks. Even if parking's free, you know, I can't afford a dinner down there because the rent's so high. But now the rent's high and the parking's high.
Well, that's just it. They're getting them on the rent and the parking. I just think in general, I think that
it sucks.
It does suck.
Let's just put it simple.
But then, like we're starting to talk about what the housing's doing. Housing's expensive, business expenses. It's just, you know what? It starts to. And I can see why locals start to go like this. This is very vexing.
And I've been, you've been here forever. I've been here 40 years in Hawaii, 24 years on the Big Island.
Yeah, and we've been here for 20 years.
And it is.
It also impacts the workers too. Like, okay, my son works at Gypsy Gelato and he works at Lava Java. Mm-hmm. Okay, they've been letting him go early from his shifts at Lava Java because people aren't coming after breakfast anymore. Where they used to like wander around during lunchtime to go shopping, right? Yeah. And also, what Jeff said, the parking has like surge pricing. So in the morning, going to Coconut Grove might cost you $5 an hour, which is it's doable.
Yeah.
But when you get to dinner and they do surge pricing at $15, $16, $17, $18 an hour, that's what I call greed. That's what I'm saying. And you're saying, okay. But when someone
I agree with you.
Okay,
it is greed,
okay,
and it's
but when my
terrible.
son has to come home and say, I
the law.
can't make as much money as I was hoping this summer to go to college, and his friends are experiencing some of the same issues that are happening at the restaurants around that are owned by Huggos, it affects everything downtown.
Yeah, everything. Affects everything here.
Right.
It takes away when there's no businesses down in the village. Then nobody wants to go to the village, and it's turning people off. You know, we have. There's not very many islands that have a little village like we have down there. It's very historic, and it can't be duplicated, and it's sad to see what's happening here, which changes upon us. But yeah, to do it. Quick story. When I moved here in 1984, and I moved to Honolulu in 1984, so that was. I remember I grew up in Las Vegas. Never paid for parking in my life. In fact, they parked my car for me for free. I just give them $1 tip when I came out. So I came here and I came to visit somebody in a downtown building, and I went in and had lunch with them and came down to get my car out, and I was broke. I moved here, I was broke. And the guy says, that's going to be like $15. And I was there for probably 2 hours, I guess, with parking and getting to his place and coming back. And I grabbed the ticket. I said, no, that's today. I just parked here today. And he's like, yeah, it's $15 an hour, and your first hour was free. And I am like, holy cow. So how's it work with Honolulu legislators getting involved? Because that was 1984, and it hasn't changed. So
I'm like this. This is totally different.
It's the same as their parking downtown is. It's at a premium. We don't have a lot of parking. There's a couple of vacant lots down there. The city could come in. That would be where I would fight for, is the county to come in and purchase some of those lots. Yeah. They purchased them for parks right next to Casa de Indico. They purchased some for parks there.
Yeah, but that's a park. Yeah.
No, but I mean, if it keeps downtown looking like downtown is, in the village, I want to call it. Yeah. Downtown, people think of high rises and things like that. Our village. It's you can look back on Pinterest. I love looking on Pinterest and saving the old photos of what the village used to look like in the 40s.
Yeah.
And,
well, I'll tell you.
And it looks a lot the same.
Right. That's exactly. The whole thing looks the same.
Yeah.
That whole solutions-based experience about come with a solution instead of a problem.
Yeah.
So Jeff Foster actually said maybe what the county could do is purchase a piece of open land next to Coconut Grove, which is just covered in cayubi trees right now.
Yeah.
And maybe that could be a free parking lot.
Yeah.
Right? And I asked Rebecca, I said, what do you think about putting up a parking structure, like a 3 or 4 story parking structure on the land they already own at Kuakini? And she said that is very expensive to do that. And so, but if they just clear the land, and again, I don't know what it costs to buy that land next to Coconut Grove. I mean, So
I think it would take the state legislators, this is where that would come in,
okay.
and a way to look. I just did 71 interviews with state legislators,
okay.
right? And I talked to many of them about bringing back money to their local communities,
Yeah.
It's money that our local council members don't have access to unless their state legislators are able to pull it in and bring it in for that.
Yeah.
And they were able to build on huge additions to schools and cafeterias and football fields and things like that, because the state went. That's why, So who's our legislator for our district at the state level?
Yeah.
Who's our senator or our House member and a representative, and get to those people and say, you need to pull in money to purchase this land to give to the local.
Right, and then make that park, make that parking area. And again, as soon as I say make it locals only, then someone's going to say, so what are you going to do? Check everyone's ID before they get to go parking? But at least it would give people options.
Yeah.
And then we're talking about a fair, not completely even playing field, but a more fair playing field of free parking on this side. And maybe if it's full, then you can go over and you can do paid parking. So what do you think?
We want to gouge people coming in that are supporting our economy?
No,
it should be the same for everybody.
Okay, so you're thinking,
we need to take care of everybody.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so there's that. But at least if there was a free parking option on the right-hand side, right?
And
if it was full, then you can come over to the paid.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then that way you'd say, okay, well, if you want to get there, you should get there early or do whatever the hell.
Maybe get a parking sticker if you live here, and you get
maybe a parking sticker.
A gate with a parking sticker, and you come in and you have something, but you don't want to end up gouging.
No, and that's just I think it's what turned into the gouging tourists, and I think that, and again,
that's
I've
the
heard
only
this,
people going.
Right, that's who's going.
Tourists.
And I've heard through my social media channels that tourists are starting to feel, they use the word consistently now, nickel and dimed.
Yeah.
That they're getting charged at their parks now. They're getting charged at the parking downtown. And a lot of them are saying, and also that, I don't know if you guys know this, but the cost of lodging has gone up 40% in the last 2.5 years. Yeah. So when you get lodging, you get parking, it just seems to all add up. So it becomes very expensive. And tourism has dropped 2% since last, year over
like
year.
More than that, honestly.
I know it does. It feels like a lot more than that. So even Oahu is saying that now because the yen is so much lower against the American dollar that people are choosing to go to Tokyo instead of going to Oahu.
Let's go back from there. Yeah.
And so I'm just thinking that all this greediness has kind of backfired all of us at the same time.
So here's the question: is Kona going to become the next Maui? Please tell me no.
I know.
Please tell me no.
Well, I'm
Maui,
hoping that,
nothing against you guys. It's just
that's why I want to fight.
But
fight.
Yeah, it's.
It's all, I just think that we have a special place here.
We have a special place. That's where we all moved here.
Yep.
And the world found out about us.
Yes, the world did find out about us.
So
Pele might show up. Give us a good freaking explosion of years long of fog again.
We'll talk
which
back in
kept
2018. We had a 52% drop in sales on this side of the island. From the volcano going off 100 and something miles away. We had no chance of it affecting us at all, zero zip ever. And they only had a 35% drop in sales within miles of the volcano. So,
well, the fog adds.
Yeah, the fog. We get the fog, they don't get the fog. Yeah. So we were affected by fog. Volcanic gases, you guys. It's like it's
and
smog,
we still live on a volcanic island, and a
little bit more rumblings. And,
it's I'm just saying.
Kona again.
Yeah, I don't know. There we go. It's so weird. So if you guys have anything to say about this, please drop them in the comments, and we'll give a chance to chat with you. And if we hear an overarching concept of we do love Kona, because most of the people watching this do love Kona.
I love Kona,
yeah.
and I hate to see what's happening.
What would you do? What would you do?
What would you do to make it better?
Yes.
That's the question.
Yes, what would you do?
Don't complain like we're complaining. Tell us.
No, I'm not complaining. I'm trying.
Help us.
We're doing a video.
Help us to get better.
Maybe we have a fundraiser to buy that lot. So anyway, Eric, was anybody watching?
Yeah, we have a few people. Just let you guys know. First of all, we've got James Porter says, Aloha from Oklahoma. Always wonderful to hear from you guys.
Yeah.
Michael Connor's watching. Lance Bond is there, and Lance says Aloha. Julie, Eric, and Lance. And let's see, Kai Sen is watching.
Oh, hi, Kai.
Greg Coates is watching, and Michael O'Connor is watching, and Shauna by is watching.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you guys for
thank you guys.
I think we're about an hour in.
I'd say that most of the people who Eric just named off are homeowners here.
Yeah.
Who this affects them too.
Yeah, it affects them too.
Yeah,
it's funny the big following we have after the sale here still,
Yeah. Well, they want to make sure that their investments are being protected. We're not saying horrible things to make people not want to buy here.
Yeah.
So no, we're just saying if we have something amazing, let's make sure it just stays good.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Okay, you guys. So we
Thank
will
you.
see you.
What do you do
next
for a
month.
living?
I sell real estate.
What do I do for a living?
I also am an activist.
I sell real estate and I fight for advocacy rights for homeowners, and it's very important. And I know that Julie has the same feelings too.
Yes,
and,
yes. Private property rights are very
private property rights, and going to the Capitol and the state Capitol and our Washington D.C. to fight for these rights.
Right, because you know
but we
what,
sell
though?
real estate.
We
That's
do.
the only thing we
but
make
I'd
money
say
at.
that we are some of the most passionate people in this town in
Yeah.
terms of making sure that it's fair.
Yes.
Right. So there we go.
Okay.
So you guys, we'll see you guys. So wait.
There's-
Eric and I are going on vacation in September.
Oh,
Okay.
awesome.
And then also we're going to be gone the first week in October. And so we're going to do this
October's
the
after
second,
September.
Right. So we're going to do
Thank you.
this again
Okay.
the second Wednesday of October.
Okay.
That way all the stats will be in. And then we'll be able to say, what kind of, because sometimes we do it early in the month, we don't get all the stats.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So we'll do that. So you guys come and see us next time on the second Thursday of the month. Okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, you guys.
Thank you guys. Aloha.
Aloha.